Hello and welcome to this video. I actually tried to record this about 10 minutes ago. I just found out my mic was muted. Let me just make sure that that's not a thing. Good. Alright, so this video is 7,000 damage in the Batchat as a tier 10 French medium. It's going to be being played by a bunch of letters and a bunch of numbers. Let's just call him that. Let's call him Dave. Let's say that. In this game, he will do some pretty good play. There's a few things he could have done a bit earlier. However, like any player, in the heat of the moment, you'll never be able to always be able to make all the decisions. So let's get going on this replay. So, as you can see, he loads no premium ammunition. You don't really need it in the Batchat. You don't really even need it in Clown Wars even. He has 2 repair kits. Obviously, this tank gets ammo-racked quite a bit. It is a very small medium. Very fragile. It's a French tank, so his first shot he takes is of course from the T-62A. However, there's not quite enough going up on the hill, so he tries to, of course, get off the hill. That's the best thing you could possibly do, is leave the hill. He has repairers on his crew, so he's more than able to not use a repair kit and simply just allow his crew to repair that. His first shot, unfortunately, of course, misses because RNG. Second shot doesn't, and his third shot doesn't either. And then the 100 finish off with it. Now that T-71, I don't actually know what he was attempting there. There's no artillery in this game. Doing that kind of Zerg rush is usually only there for people that only want to kill artillery. Since there is none, there is no reason to do it. There's never any reason to do that kind of thing, but obviously some people don't understand that living is more important than spotting like that. At this point in the game, he's seeing that if he goes up here, he'll have a pretty good opportunity to shoot tanks. The best thing you can do in this game, of course. His first victim is this 140, which he just devours. As you can see, you don't really need heat at all. He tries to get a shot on this LTTB, but he can't unfortunately see him. He goes for a reload here. And he just sits here waiting. He, however, does get spotted. Spoilers. He does get spotted by, you'll see in a minute. There's a stock IS-7. So, yeah. So, that is what he gets spotted by. Of course, that Centurion tries to shoot him, but of course doesn't. However, the Centurion is smart. He does not try to Zerg rush the Batchat. It's actually a very bad idea in anything to Zerg rush a Batchat, unless you have friends. Simply because you don't have the DPM to kill it. You're not going to kill it. So yeah. Of course, he puts a couple shots into the IS-7, or IS-3, sorry. But like Russian armor is, it just bounces the second shot. At this point, he's just basically being an anchor for the team, not allowing the enemy team just to simply push around this corner. This is something I see in a lot of games that people just don't do. They'll see that there's nothing on one line. It's actually a very irrelevant area on this map. It's the one line. You still need tanks there, but you don't need them late in game. In fact, you never need them in late in game. You can just pull back. Because late game, you have your tanks in positions, and the tank charge can typically take care of one line. It's not even a very good line to push. So he takes 2 shots there, one from my LTTB and one from my T-49. The T-49 shot kills his commander. He, of course, repairs him. He goes for a reload here. He's going to reposition a little bit. Not that much, just a little. So yeah, so this position here on this map, with only one other ally, is a very, very good position. One, it prevents a flank from being used. A very easy flank to use because there's cover here. 2, it also prevents the enemy just simply use that island, or the hill, I guess you call it. I call it an island, in the middle as a place to simply use their gun depression and to kill the tanks below. So this is a very good spot to stay and make sure you have a tank, at least one tank of relative tier. Like, you don't want a bottom tier light tank sitting over here. You want something that's at the very least mid tier. The IS-3 is of course stock, thus he's firing HE. The AP is probably not very good. I've never actually stocked playing that tank, so I'm not entirely too sure what it would be like. At this point in time, he's seeing that he may be needed elsewhere. However, he waits. As there is still an IS-3 in the middle. Of course, he realizes that if he stays here, he may not be able to win the game. And there is now another E-75 sitting here, so he's not technically needed over there anymore. If there's more than one enemy tank over there, yes, he would still be needed. However, they have a 2-to-1 ratio, thus not needed. At the current time, he's just see if he can spot a little bit over on the one line. There's a T-49 in the middle. He attempts to duke the T-49 into firing. He does not. However, there's something you can do in this map. If there's a tank sitting there, you can simply fire underneath of it. It isn't any map, it's just this tank particular. Now, I don't understand why the T-49 fired there. The T-49 shell was so big that it would never fit underneath the tank, of course. I'm not entirely too sure if this game takes that into consideration or not. It may just be a point of calculation, not the size of the calculation. I'm not entirely sure on that point. At this point, there's only 4 of them left. So, yeah, of course, he goes to regroup. Very good thing to do. The Pershing finally reappears after, sorry, spending most of the game at C1. So he reappears, tries to go uphill. He gets punished for it. He gets set on fire by the E-100. So now he's down on 2 health. So, of course, this guy just goes up and auto-aims and kills him. So now the rest of the tanks are relatively easy to kill. There's just a Centurion 1 up here at the moment. 7-1, you know, different. He's not exactly paying much attention. He did, of course, notice that he's up here. This is a very unfortunate shot. It just hits the rock. This is another unfortunate shot, just tracking. But of course, it's easily killed. He goes for the reload here. And he simply just waits. The 100 kills a stock IS-3. Now he did get spotted here, which means he probably got proxy spotted by the IS-3. Which means they know that he's still up here. Of course, any reasonably good player would assume he's still up here. Well, T-10's coming up. He is statistically the best player currently still alive on the enemy team. However, he's in a very bad spot. He's on the hill late game. What he should have done instead was go the 7 line. He could use his armor against other tanks. However, if he would have, just to explain why going there is a bad idea in the late game in a heavy tank, if there would have been tanks, say at F5, allied tanks, for this player, for the Batchat, that IS-7 would have his pike nose pointed upwards, thus reducing the effectiveness of his lower plate, as well as making him an easy target. Of course, that's the thing, so he's uphill. He's now on flat ground, so he technically is in a good spot. However, getting there is a bad idea. Just a heavy tank. He was a medium. Mediums are mediums, you go wherever you want to. So currently they're debating whether or not to go up and kill this guy. They are, of course, indecisive. A Batchat here, of course, on perilously low health. does not want to be the first tank to be shot. Of course, he is statistically the best player on their team. Plus, if he dies, that could be a throw to the game. Now, if there would have been artillery in this game would have been over already. There would have been quite a few moments in time where either this Batchat here would have been hit by artillery, or other parts of the enemy team or our allied team would have been hit by artillery. So at this point in time, they decided to go ahead and kill this T-10. The E-100 takes the first shot, and then the Batchat decides to do this to him. Blow his top off. So, of course, now that leaves 2 tank destroyers. If you were paying attention to the chat earlier, I think it was earlier, you would have noticed that the 704 currently has max ping, thus he is a non-combatant. What does that mean? He basically means that he's not capable of doing anything. So he goes for the reload and goes for a alternate position. He doesn't want to show up in the best, or not the best, in the most likely area that he was spotted from. He drops down off the hill and decides to go this way. This is the way that I would have went a little bit earlier. I would have, once the T-10 was taken care of, immediately went this way. And on the way there, hit the reload. Of course, he got spotted by either the 704 or the Borsig. I'm not actually sure which one he would have been spotted by. He does, of course, knock the tree down to attempt to get the 704 to look in that direction. As well as he poked his tank up to see if there was anything to spot. Unfortunately, there's enough cover between him and any potential tanks to simply make that a null argument. Of course, he comes up with the 704 is focused on another tank. And he gets hit by the E-100, and now he's dead. Now the Borsig gets spotted. However, he does not shoot here, 1, because he doesn't want to die, and 2, on the move the Batchat isn't incredibly accurate, and he only has to shoot 3 shots left. He needs most of them to kill. And here we go. So that is this game. I hope you enjoyed this game. This is one that was sent in on the forums. If you want your own video on this channel, you can go ahead and send it to the email in the description below. I would ask that you put in the title of your email, the name of the tank you played, the map, as well as your in-game name. I don't really need your in-game name, I just would appreciate it. As well as in the description with the link, I would appreciate a description. Just so I can weed out average games from games like this, which is pretty good. This is my first replay that it's not myself, so I decided this would be the best one. Anyways, if you have any suggestions for the channel, i.e., would you like me to stop using mods? Would you like me to do anything else? Just go right ahead and put it in the comments below. I did notice that he did, of course, end with only 2 shots left, which is very good. He could have gotten a very hard to get medal, and he also didn't use his large repair kit. Of course, that's always useful. I will now show the results from this game. I do hope that you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please do a like, and if you really like it, go ahead and subscribe. So this is the results. He, of course, got a mastery badge. He also got a plethora of other medals. Amarok Force, he got a Rally Walters, High Caliber, and a Top Gun. He did a bunch of critical damage. However, in this website, you can't actually see the actual module damage. Quickie Babies, you could do it. However, Quickie Babies no longer exist, it seems. Of course, it's not quite 7,000 damage. It's only 6,500 odd. There's quite a few good players in this one. However, I do say a lot. It was a pretty good match. There was a few good players. However, there was a crazy trainer there. It's kind of a dead clan, honestly. I was a no for a while. However, he does not run a premium count. He made 48 credits. It's kind of hilarious, to be quite honest with you.